Listen up, cluckheads.
You're listening to Whiskey and Whine
With Rooster and
The Madman, where we talk about common sense, current events,
the Constitution, and
morals, while comparing drinks of yesteryear to drinks of today.
so sit back, relax, leave us a comment.
Here comes Whiskey and Whine.
All right, cluckheads, welcome back to Whiskey and Wine with Rooster and the Madman. We are here for episode 6.
Episode 6, baby.
So, we got a couple good things for you today. So, some of them being more whiskey. You never have more. Can't have enough whiskey.
I don't really know if this qualifies as whiskey. Is this a liqueur? Is it a whiskey? Is it a liqueur?
It says
no. I
whiskey.
guess it is a whiskey.
This one says liqueur, but it says whiskey as well. So, I guess it falls into that weird hybrid. So, just so we don't have any more suspense going on, today we're going to be comparing Fireball,
Which is the low end.
It's made in Kentucky, to Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire. It's their cinnamon spice.
Now, just like last week, we're going to look at the bottles first. Now,
Okay.
I want you to hear this. Now, once again, just like last week.
Yeah, BPA-free plastic right there.
This is recyclable plastic.
All right, well, this one is not. This one is more dangerous. It appears to be glass.
I wonder if this one could go in a carry pack.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it is unless you label it as a carry pack, like we saw on the Kentucky Deluxe.
Well, just like what we saw in the Kentucky Deluxe, all it takes is a homemade printer.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, just looking at these, plastic versus glass, one's already a little bit better than the one. I actually paid more for the smaller version of the glass versus the bigger version.
So let's compare colors here.
So colors. Okay.
Fireball's a lot darker.
It is. It's
a lot darker.
It is dark, man. Reminds me of a really bad day I had in the military one day when I had to.
Did you get kidney punch? Piss blood?
No, dude, I had to do the drug test witnessing.
Oh.
There's nothing.
Don't ask me why I knew about the whole kidney punch, pissing blood thing.
Yeah. So which
is actually, if you look at it, that's
it's kind of orange.
Yeah.
But Jack Daniel's looks just like Gentleman Jack. It looks like Jack Daniel's.
It's got a little bit of a different tint to it, but not bad at all.
Yeah, the label looks just like their good old number 5, except it's in red, kind of deal.
What number 5 are you getting?
And then
did you get the Kentucky Deluxe? Did you get the number 5 Kentucky Deluxe instead of the 7?
Yeah, it was on discount. No, I'm sorry. I had a Groupon.
I saw this on the back page.
I'm sorry, Jack Daniel's. It's old number 7. I was getting confused with my other whiskey I like, which is number 5, made by Bent Distillery. So.
Oh, that's because number 5 by Bent Distillery, made right there in Louisville, Texas. Is one of the best high-end local craft that I have ever tasted.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about that one.
No, we're not.
Yeah. So,
okay, I'll go first. Here it comes.
Open it up. Is it?
It's not opening.
Wow.
Hold on.
Child safety.
Shut up.
There's a point for Fireball.
Okay. What? The absolute cluck.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Okay, so here we go. It's finally open.
All right, cool.
Glad that my gorilla paws couldn't open that. So let's smell this. We have a Mad Hen in the studio tonight.
Well, that smells like a Jolly Rancher cinnamon.
What do you want to bet? You ever had a Laffy Taffy?
Yes.
You know how that it smells like strawberry, but it don't taste like strawberry?
Yes.
Or it smells like banana, but it's not going to taste like banana. It's like two guys were sitting around being like, does this taste like banana? And it's two guys that have never actually eaten a banana, and they go, yeah.
Or it's got somebody like me who works for Lifetime who's like, well, dude, it's yellow, whatever.
Yeah. I'd be willing to bet that this smells like cinnamon, but does not taste like whiskey and cinnamon put together.
We're going to find out. So.
We are. I'll pour this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me open the other one here. Oh, wow. This has even actually got a nice little wrapper around it, too.
Yours has a wrapper?
Yeah.
Hey, we actually have another guest in here.
I just came to drop off the money, honey.
Wow. It smells like cinnamon, but not like a Jolly Rancher.
Smells like a cinnamon, but not like a Jolly
Yeah,
Rancher.
it smells like cinnamon, but not a Jolly Rancher.
Hold on. Carrie Simpson, the lead vocalist for a local rock metal band From Then On, just joined us in the studio, so we're going to pour her a shot of this as well.
Okay, I won't say no.
All right. So let's look at the coloring on this. Now that we have it in the cups. Oh, that is a complete different coloring. That is completely different.
Let's just finish this bottle off on the pour.
Yeah, just go ahead. Amazing. Like 1/3 of the bottom end one is still here.
Yeah. So that's
you know who we are. You know what we do. You know what we
it.
talk about. We current events, common sense, and the Constitution, and morals. Morals are in there somewhere.
In there somewhere.
So before we get to tonight's topics, let's
take a drink.
Do we have to shoot this, or can we sip it?
Your choice. Your choice,
Well,
Madman.
I was just going to sip mine because I know that we have to talk about it again later.
I'm going to shoot it.
I was right. It's like a Laffy Taffy. It smells like cinnamon, but it sure as hell does not taste like cinnamon.
It does. It
tastes like a cinnamon Jolly Rancher.
It's like a cinnamon Jolly Rancher.
This is like a cinnamon Jolly Rancher, but it's not like, hey, it's Thanksgiving.
You know what?
You wake up, you smell Mom's apple pie bacon, you can smell that apple and that cinnamon.
It's
like
not
a weak red hot.
exactly.
Carrie just said it was like a weak red hot.
It's more like a red hot, but it's not whiskey.
Whew.
It doesn't taste like whiskey at all.
No.
So you want to Carrie? Hold on.
Carrie. Do you want to taste
the other
the
one? You're part of the comparison here.
taste the higher end one?
All right.
Because she has to leave the studio.
Yeah, so you get to that one and
She's got places to be and
keep your opinion
to
to
see.
yourself because we're not to it yet.
Now, how would you say that one tastes compared to the other one?
It's more stronger. It has more of a bite.
More stronger, more bite.
More stronger, more bite.
You heard it first,
Kind
right
of like
here.
a bad Taiwanese hooker.
Almost like a...
We'll get to the Taiwan jokes later.
Compared to the other one, this one's kind of like a weak atomic fireball.
Gotcha. She said that, in case you couldn't hear it through the mic, she said that compared to the other one, this is like a weaker atomic fireball, but it has a little bit more of a bite to it. So I'm assuming that the bite would probably be the whiskey. The weaker atomic fireball would probably be the fact that they use real cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on into some of our topics here. Get this going.
The first one that somebody commented on was Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Oh, my God.
Vice President of the
what?
United States.
Hold on. Let's get the 4 minutes on the timer and go.
So Kamala Harris, everybody knows, Vice President of the United States. Back on March 24th of this year, 2021, she was appointed to lead the border crisis. So she's our border crisis czar by the White House administration that she's part of. Well, just so you know, it has been 64 days and we ain't seen nothing on this.
Actually, I'm going to Facebook fact check you on this one.
All right.
That is partially false.
Partially false.
Well, no, I guess she didn't actually
be
go
partially
to the border. It was, that's whenever. Oh no, she was planning on going to the border whenever all of the stuff about her books being found in the immigrants' backpacks trying to cross came out.
Oh yeah, that was
so
totally
no.
good.
So
Yeah.
but wait a minute, no. So you are still partially false, though. She did fly over at 35,000 feet.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd think that the books ended up in those kids' backpacks, which they said was a total coincidence, would at least made her show up to get some kind of book signing deal or something going on.
I was so excited to see Kamala Harris go to the southern border that I actually went to Brownsville and I took out my binoculars and I watched her plane fly over. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Our borders are just 35,000 feet, cruising altitude. I'm sure they kind of, tipped the plane a little bit.
Yeah, they probably just rocked it over so she could look out the window.
So, but here's the thing. So let's say that you are the president of a local-owned business, or even the vice president of a local-owned business, and you knew that in your production line there was a major chink somewhere in the malfunction chain, and that it was your job to go and find where that problem was occurring in the chain that was halting your productivity. as vice president of the company, wouldn't you want to go check that out if the president appointed it to you?
Well, normally I would say yes, but it depends on what type of company you are. So if we're talking a Silicon Valley company that tends to lean a little left anyways, then probably it's best not to talk about situations. You don't want people to find out that you got a book deal going on. I don't know. You don't want to talk about the border crisis. If you don't talk about it, it's not really a crisis anymore. I don't know.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that if we don't talk about it, it doesn't exist?
And I think that's all they're doing right now is they're just saying we're not going to talk about it.
If that's where this is going, if the border problem, if we just don't talk about it, it doesn't exist. I want to ignore the taxation problem because then at that point it doesn't exist. So if they try to take it from me, I'm just going to say no.
Well, you can certainly give that a try and see how that one goes. I will just leave it on this one that it is this very sad thing that she's named the border czar and has done absolutely nothing, and nobody in the White House or anybody other than a couple of senators out there are calling her out for it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just failure of her job. It's dereliction of duty.
Fact is that if your job is to mop the floor and you don't mop the floor,
you get fired.
You get fired.
Yeah,
that's it. If your job is to sell a car and you don't sell a car, you get fired.
Yeah, it's weird how responsibility is and consequences go hand in hand. Unless you're the vice president of the United States, then it's just whatever.
I wonder if she thinks math is racist.
She probably does.
I wonder if I can get an existence trophy from her.
No.
No?
No. Sorry.
Oh.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, that's
not
going to work out for you, brother.
All right. Well, our time has come up. It has ended.
So, I took a shot of my whiskey. Maybe you'd like to take another sip of your cinnamon and get another. And I think she was right. It's not so much a Jolly Rancher is those atomic warhead.
No, I think she's right. I think that this tastes more like those little Red Hots.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
It's almost like somebody took whiskey and then they put a bunch of the little Red Hots in it that were left over from their kids.
Maybe that's all it is.
That were left over from their kids' Halloween.
I'm getting another round. Okay, that's
yeah.
awesome.
If I have to
Everybody
get another
else
round,
is sipping theirs. I'm already done with mine, so I get another glass.
Yep,
that's awesome. So
that's because we get
see how many inappropriate things I can say during this podcast after so many drinks. So
okay. Well, now here we go. Let's taste the.
Taste the new one.
Taste the new one. Taste it. What's
this is a Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire.
Yeah, I was going to see if they actually listed how much. They're both 35% alcohol.
Yeah, both 70 proof.
But I was going to see if they actually said how much cinnamon was in there. I guess they don't. The Mad Hen is looking it up. All
wow.
Right. So
that is. I'll let you finish.
That is completely different.
That is absolutely different.
This one tastes like candy. The Fireball?
Yeah.
It tastes like candy, almost like cough syrup.
It does, and this tastes like an actual liquor.
This tastes like an actual... I wouldn't say that it has the same texture as a whiskey, but I am going to save the last part of that so that way that I can have it to compare at the very end.
Yeah,
but
I'll do the same. I like it.
The Tennessee Fire very much has a...
It's way more mellow.
It's more mellow.
Yeah, it's mellow.
And it actually tastes more like a liquid instead of like a syrup.
Yeah, to me, it's like if you compared candies, if you will, since you use the candy analogy, something to say like one of those atomic sours to like say a sour head, the difference in levels, and that's where Fireball's on that extreme, and then this is kind of in that mellow, middle, if you will.
You know what? The Tennessee Fire tastes like if you mixed it with like an apple cider, like a Angry Orchard, it would taste like Mom's apple pie. Whereas this one would be like, you want some cinnamon? Here's some cinnamon.
I got some cinnamon.
Mix this with some Steel Reserve.
Right. So let's get on to the next topic here.
Somebody brought up John Cena.
John Cena.
John Cena. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and start the timer. There you go.
Yeah, so John Cena. I was actually kind of like this guy before this.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked. I mean, he plays this whole. I know it's a character and it's WWE because wrestling's not real. Sorry, kids, it's not.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's physical, and these guys are amazing athletes, but it is scripted, so that makes it not real. But anyway, so he
Macho Man Randy Savage is rolling over.
Oh
his
yeah.
grave.
Oh yeah. So they, you ever notice how he sounds kind of like the Kool-Aid Man?
He does, actually.
Anyway, so I mean, he kind of makes his whole stick, if you will, on this patriotic stance. I mean, there's a couple. I think there's been instances where he's come out like wearing the American flag around him and stuff like that. And he's kind of this Captain America good guy.
I don't know if we're talking about the same John Cena because I can't see him.
Oh. Nice. All right. So, but anyway, so he's out promoting Fast and Furious. We'll just get to the meat of it here. Fast and Furious 9, 12, I don't know, whichever they're doing now because they're never going to stop making those
69.
movies. So, anyways, so they're going to show this in the country of Taiwan first. So he goes out there and he does this press release thing. And he tells people of Taiwan, you guys are going to be the first nation to see it. Well, then he has to come.
Whoa,
this is where it gets weird.
Because Taiwan, technically,
it's a country.
Is a country.
It's a country. So this is what makes makes it more complicated for me. So John Cena, this guy speaks Mandarin, by the way. So I mean, kudos.
Yeah, and he speaks it pretty
smart.
dang fluently.
He's a smart dude.
He's a smart guy. Yeah.
So anyway, so he does this video of him speaking Mandarin directly to the people of China, and where he's expressing his love and respect for China and apologizes for referring to Taiwan as a country. But he wants to make sure the Chinese know he loves and respects them. So I can't think of anything more Hollywood than selling out one people and crapping on them just to make another people happy so you can get more money from them.
So, I agree with that. The main thing that I have in mind, I have in question, is if it came from China to the movie producers, studio exec, and then they said, if you don't have him apologize, then we're not playing your movie. And then by that point, all those big-name stars in the movie, they're not going to get a check simply because of the fact that now it can't be played in China. So I'm wondering how much of it is an act and how much of it he did just because the fact that if he didn't, then he was going to have an entire studio of people pissed off at him.
Let me answer your question in two parts here. Part number one, wah. My question to you as part number two is, Madman, let's say you're in John Cena's boot. You're in his boots, right? And they say, hey, we need you to do a video and suck up to the Chinese for calling Taiwan a country. Go.
I would walk right up to the camera, I'd straighten my tie, I'd use my best British accent, and I'd say, dear people of China, if you could please assume the position and sucketh of my Richard, and then cometh and taketh. Then I'd probably just give him the middle finger.
Yeah, I'm just... Bottom line is Taiwan's a country. Taipei is their capital. We all know this stuff. In fact, Taiwan is the leftover of... They're the ones that survived the whole communist revolution.
From like 1954.
Yeah, I mean...
They survived the revolution.
This is the actual democracy of China.
We can dock in Taiwan as a part of the military. Guess where we can't?
In China.
And our timer just went off. All right, so we are back to the Fireball. All
right, another sip of Fireball. Wow.
Matt Hen just showed me something, and I couldn't read it.
It is liquid candy.
It is liquid candy.
It is liquid candy.
After comparing that to the, hey, get off your phone. We're at the drinking table. Kids and your candy crushing.
Versus whiskey, yeah. You could definitely take the whiskey in one, but the other one just tastes like candy. I mean, it's nice. I mean, that's a positive, I guess, if you don't like the taste of, like, say, liquor or whiskey, and you want more of a candy thing.
You don't have a beard or chest hair.
And you want to, get a little bit of a buzz going on, party or whatever the case may be. Fireball, man, that's the way to go. I mean, we know the Overlord loves it. That's his favorite go-to, I believe. But he also has a dungeon.
Are you freaking kidding me? Is that the Overlord's go-to?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got a bottle of it in his dungeon as well.
Okay. So now, in the Overlord's dungeon, we have 100% pure coconut oil.
Dungeon oil, yes, 100% pure coconut oil.
Still reserved.
Case of Steel Reserve.
Case of Steel Reserve.
And probably a half gallon of Fireball whiskey.
And a half gallon of Fireball whiskey. I don't know if it's a Freudian slip, but you almost said Oral Lord instead of Overlord.
Oh. It's because you keep giving me more of this Fireball. I guess it'd kill the taste.
To quote Yoda, or maybe Moana, what can I say except you're welcome? And I'm pretty sure that that's a text from the Overlord. And apparently y'all have a date in 5 minutes.
No, I'm not going in the dungeon.
Why, you don't want to go in the dungeon? Is it too prickly on the insides?
Yeah, I'm not falling for that for the third time. That's just not happening.
Okay.
So let's go to number 3.
So we have some follow-ups. So
Yes.
the first follow-up is the Texas constitutional carry.
Yeah, so constitutional carry, as we talked about in 2 previous episodes, this is our second follow-up to it, and this is just changes that are going to be made here in the state of Texas to allow you to open or conceal carry of a firearm without having to have a license. So that has, as of Monday night, passed the Senate with all the changes, and it's now headed to the governor. So it's going to get signed, and it's going to become the law of the land here in Texas.
Would it go into effect September 1st with the rest of the states?
Yeah, I'm assuming it'll go into September 1st, just like everything else with new laws.
Said, hold up. We need a chaser.
And while you're doing that, there is a reminder, though, that just because we're constitutional carry does not mean that, like some of these articles I've read saying that we're basically lawless and, all kinds of stuff like it. No, not at all. This just means we're removing that permit situation. But if you can't pass a background check to purchase a firearm on
then
a
you're still
national
not going to be able to carry
then you
it.
can't carry in the state of Texas. We're just making Texas follow whatever the national mandate is.
Almost like the first 10 amendments of the Constitution.
Yeah, it's weird. One of them is, should not be infringed.
Shall not be infringed.
Kind of a deal. But anyway, so that's where we're at. I mean, there was an article on one of them, and I don't know if we're getting close to running on it, but I think Vanity Fair ran a thing, and it was all I could, they were really mad about it, and they kept going back to pro-life choices and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, so
So one of the ones that I read that was a part of the whole Vanity Fair tweet was that, are you seriously saying that your personal belongings are more valuable than somebody else's life? And my response back was, apparently they don't think that their life is as important as my personal belongings because they're coming into my Yeah,
anyways, we'll move on. It was it's kind of senseless.
It's senseless, but the fact is that Texas is moving towards a constitutional carry.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Pretty much as soon as it hits the governor's desk, it's going to get passed.
So our
time's up.
All right, cool. So our second follow-up, and I'll let you restart the timer here, is going to follow up on Mayor Lightfoot.
Before we do that,
sorry.
Every cheap whiskey needs a cheap chaser.
Oh, yes.
So
what is our chaser?
Only got the finest quality of chasers from Coors Brewing Company. I got us some 5.9 alcohol percentage. Keystone Light, baby.
Oh, yeah.
How did that?
No. This is Keystone Ice.
That is Keystone. Oh, it's Keystone Ice. I'm sorry.
Even higher end.
Even higher end. All right, so let's see how this tastes.
Actually, it's a nice compliment to Fireball whiskey.
Okay, now that's not saying very much. I really hate to tell you.
It kind of dilutes down that overpowering cinnamon.
I was, having a conversation with Charles Manson, and then I went to the next cell, and I had a great conversation with Ted Kaczynski. It was a great compliment. No, they're both realistically, look, that is the same color as Steel Reserve.
No, Steel Reserve is much darker.
It is,
it was much darker. Steel Reserve is
going in or going out?
Both.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I got a kidney infection from Steel Reserve. So you always tell these jokes when people are taking a drink, and that's when you get the best effect.
All right, the next follow-up. Timer started, go.
All right, so the next follow-up is going to be...
Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
Beetlejuice.
Chicago Mayor Lightfoot. So, as y'all remember, she had kind of done the whole thing. I'm not going to give interviews to anybody unless you're a person of color because I believe...
But you know what? Betsy Prost from Fort Worth, white Republican, she recently came out and said that unless you are a person that is white, person of color, that is the only person that she's actually going to respond to interviews to. And the reason I choose the word respond is because Beetlejuice, Lightfoot, is not the fact she declined the interviews. She just didn't respond to the interviews.
Sure.
Now, should that make you mad that there is a Republican white mayor that is only giving interviews to white people?
Absolutely. And to be clear, this is just an analogy. Betsy Price did not actually state this.
Betsy Price did not actually state this. This is a 100% pure analogy.
Yeah, we're just using it as
but
that
if
one.
that pissed you off, then so should Lightfoot
Yeah.
in Chicago.
And here's what's funny. So it's pissed enough people
Just like
off.
we talked about last week with the Eyes of Hate.
Yeah. So what's happened now in Chicago is now she's being sued. So
What?
yeah.
I didn't see that. She's getting sued?
that just came out too. So because she's been pre-selecting these journalists.
prickly on the insides too.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
Different
kind of
area.
funny that So
Feels good.
It's the Daily Caller News Foundation. So it's on behalf of one of the reporters. So she's never responded to this guy about any interview requests, questions, any of that kind of stuff, sit-down meetings. So they're suing her, and they're actually suing her on the basis of she's restricting freedom of the press. You ever heard of that? Might be one of the first amendments in the Constitution.
Kind of up there.
And she's doing it based on racial discrimination. It's not only is it illegal and it's immoral. I hope it goes somewhere. We'll see, because she's not been telling them no. She's been not responding, and the only reason what I found out that sucks. I had a great joke to go with that one too. But.
Go ahead and get your joke in.
All right. So, for those of you guys who don't know, she's actually married to a white woman. And
What?
Yeah, I know. She won't do interviews
That
or
is
talk
crazy.
to white people, but yeah, she's married to one. Could you imagine what type of conversation these two have on that normal relationship of what do you want for dinner? I don't know, honey. What do you want for dinner? Where I was going with that one is, could you imagine the first time her wife says, well, I don't know, how about burgers? Does that sound good to you? You racist white devil. All right. Give me your Fireball, man. You can't have any more.
No. I've got to finish the Jack Daniels now.
So anyways, that's it for Mayor Lightfoot.
All right, so that concludes all the topics that were brought up this week.
But I would like, for one thing, if you don't mind me asking, I would like you to explain the 10 penny challenge. It is Memorial Day weekend.
Oh yeah, so it's Memorial Day weekend. The 10 penny challenge. So this is something that I've done now for roughly 10 years. And for those of you that don't know, Memorial Day weekend is not for the veterans. It is not for the people that are currently serving. Memorial Day weekend are for those that have fought and died inside of combat to uphold your privileges, not rights, your privileges, and those words that are on that sacred document called the Constitution. And for those of you that don't know about the coins, a penny means that somebody came and they paid respects. A nickel means that they knew them or they went to boot camp with them. A dime means they served with them. And that a quarter means that they were there whenever that person paid the ultimate sacrifice, which included up to their lives. So this Memorial Day weekend, maybe just take 30 minutes out of your time. Go to a cemetery. Take a penny. Place it on a fallen soldier's, airman's, sailor's, or marine's grave. And say thank you. It will take 30 minutes away from you burning your hot dogs. And I can promise you that every family member that comes to that gravesite will appreciate it more than you will ever know. So it's called the 10 penny challenge. Go take 10 pennies, find 10 fallen soldiers, sailors, airmen, or Marines, and place that penny down and pay your respects.
You're here. And just remember, it's Memorial Day weekend. It is not a day of celebration. It is a day of remembrance. So before you go looking like a jackass because you don't know how to, park your boat or pull it down the boat ramp or anything like that, just remember the day is about people who came before you and sacrificed and gave all. So take the challenge.
Take the challenge. So that was episode 6.
Yeah. Oh, we
never actually said what we thought about our chaser.
It's water. It's
bad tasting water.
It
doesn't taste like it's lead line.
No, it's just really, really watered down beer.
Really watered
it's
down.
not good beer. So there's a reason it's cheap.
Yep.
But that's not our whole point on that one. Like I said, it's a chaser.
It was a chaser.
It helps tone down the overabundance of cinnamon in the Fireball.
Yep.
So before we get out of here, I want to make sure that we give a special thanks to Deep Dallas Radio and Locked and Loaded Show, where you can hear us air every Saturday at 4 p.m. ish. Depending on where the songs
Where you can also hear the Rooster's Oral Lord right inside the dungeon with the Steel Reserve and John Kerry.
It's going to take more Steel Reserve and Fireball for something like that.
Thank you, Overlord, for having us on your show.
Yeah, and then thanks to one of our sponsors, giftedchicken.com, home to all your beard, bath, and body care needs. And last but not least, in a world full of chickens, be a rooster.
You are listening
to Whiskey and Wine.